What's up, everybody? So, I want to talk about the last couple of weeks of all this mess that's been going on, and black folks so happy that Chavez was Chauvin. I'm talking about Chavez, Lord Chauvin was found guilty. Whatever it may be, but wake the hell up again. What's this? The third or fourth segment of Wake the Hell Up? I'm so tired of the black culture. It's sad. We are so pathetic. It's sad. I'm disgusted at this point with the black culture. We will pat people to hell. We will pat our youth to their destruction and be proud of it. We are supporting the destruction of our youth with our mindset, keep preaching this fake racism, hatred, police, brutality, when our kids are destroying themselves. The kids' parents ain't raising their children. Nobody's even looking at that. Nobody's even paying attention to any of that. Black culture never takes no responsibility for anything they do and the destruction that's going on with our youth. We keep teaching our kids to buck the authority and get themselves killed. When I was growing up, I was told to follow the laws, the rules. And if it's a rule we know isn't right, then we deal with it later. But who fights the police? Why is kids outside at 3 a.m. with guns underage? Where's their parents? Why is a young lady in the foster care system angry with the emotional problems, don't know how to control her emotions, stabbing people, trying to? Why? Those questions not being answered. Why? Where's the parents of this girl that she's even in foster care to begin with? Look at the man outside kicking the girl in the head, whoever he is. This is a sad situation. We have, basically, the black culture is a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of cowards. They sit back, throw these rocks, they'll fight and kill each other, but when it comes to standing up against the real issues in their community, they bile out and cower out in a minute. They want to talk about police officers being bad and being this, but not one of them is stepping up to be a police officer, signing up to be one, signing up to be a social worker to deal with the kids in the foster care system. They get so many that they don't know what to do with them, and trying to find people who safe enough to just leave them with in a temporary custody. Do you understand that our people won't stand up and do nothing but run their dang mouth and complain about what ABC doing, but don't put their foot in the fire like a LeBron James, who worth millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, lives in mansions with white people, that's his neighbors, has private security for him and his children, but tell you should hate the police and defund the police. Put a police officer face out and say he next when he was the one protecting the life of another kid while he's somewhere chilling in the cut. Do you understand that this is what is destroying our communities daily? That all these people talk mess but do nothing to make no change. Period. Blacks are cowards. You see black men watch women fight on TV and sit back and film it and laugh on it. Don't stop the fighting. Don't stop the animalistic behavior, but sit there and laugh and film it. I saw a fight in the airport where a man was beating on his wife and a bunch of girls fighting, and all the black folks was filming the black men. Two white men had to jump in and take the black man down and stop him from hitting his own woman. This is the coward blacks that we had. We say we hate white folks, but it's always a white folk to come to the rescue, like the white cop that had to stop the black teen that was out of control from killing another black teen, while the black man sat around and kicked and looked, and the neighbors looked, but no one participated in it to stop this before it got to the point where the cop had to come in and stop it. About the white man who told the black man to get out the neighborhood because he didn't belong there. He come there to argue and start trouble, and the white man stood up to guard his neighborhood and do what he was supposed to do. And then he gets talked about, and he gets protest outside his house for actually being a man and doing what he's supposed to do. The same thing that a black man could have done in his community where the black teen was trying to stab another teen, but that didn't happen. How we see all of these fights and all of these things continue to happen on the level that they happen on, but yet nobody seems to do anything about it. Not black folks, not black men. They don't jump in. They see fights and put out their phone like cowards and film it between women. Don't do anything to stop it. Nothing. Gangs and groups of girls fighting in Miami and everything. They sitting there filming it with their cameras. Nobody jumped in to stop it. This is what our young men and men do. But white folks see it and they say, hey, stop. White men protect their communities, but black men don't guard the gates of their communities and wonder why it is what it is. God said man's supposed to be the head, but the man has failed to do his job. And he's allowed the woman to tell him and dictate how he should do and what he should do. The woman said, no, accept this. Woman say, no, I'm going to get on this pole and I'm going to whore myself out and I'm going to dress like a whore and do these type of things. And that's okay. And the man said, okay. The black man allowed 50 strip clubs in his neighborhood and liquor stores. Black man didn't stand up and do nothing. You want to know why the black community and the white community are different? It has nothing to do with redlining. It has to do with the personal people. That black men don't protect their community. They allow anything in. They have allowed their women to do anything in their community. The black woman say, oh, this is this, and we should accept this. We should accept our boys wearing dresses. We should accept our homosexuality as a way of life in our communities. We should accept our men wearing purses and makeup. Why not? Who are we to judge? When God said you have to judge what's wrong. You have to make a judgment on what's wrong and what's right, what to do and what not to do. But once again, we don't do that. But the white man does, and you mad at him because he does his job. He protects his community. When he sees something going wrong, somebody breaking in his house, he pull up and say, hey, where you going? What you doing? You don't belong over here. I don't know you. You don't live over here. Because you going in somebody's house over here. Or what you doing on the corner, what you doing this. Or you come over here to argue, you got to get up out of here with that because we're not having that. And you mad at him because he's actually being the man and you being a punk and ain't doing your job. You being a coward. When you should be the same way. But you get mad at the white man. Here come the black woman. They racist. They just shut up. Because you's a fool too. You's a bigger fool. Because you are a big part of the problem. Be like Eve brought the sin to Adam. Black women bring the sin to the man. Bring it right to his doors. We got these weak black women that want to wear the pants, want to be the man, bring all this nonsense, raise their children lack thereof, and tell the man they got to accept this because I said my kids should do this and my kids should do that, and I'm allowing this, and don't you say nothing to him. Don't you chastise him. Don't you put him in check. Shut up. Because women are so weak. That's that emotional crack. They let their emotions lead them, which leads to the breakup and the destruction of their families. And here comes the black man. Okay, I guess I gotta do what she say. Nah, you don't. You supposed to be the head. You supposed to lead, but you gonna took a back seat, blaming it on feminism. Feminism only went through because the man didn't stand up and fight against feminism. He cowered back and said, forget it, gave up and put his hands up. When the white community didn't, they're still keeping their communities together. That man told that fool, get off my block. I don't care what color you are. Color has nothing to do with you coming over here to argue with somebody and you don't get out. Goodbye. Be gone. And he should have put him out. Don't come in front of my house arguing and get out. You disturbing the peace. This is peace here. You can't come in our peace and disturb it. You got to go. And he would have did it if the man was black or white or whatever. Because he's not standing for it and he did the right thing. Period. And our men, they don't do that though. Our men don't do it. They'll sit out here and watch a whole gang fight of girls and won't intercept one time. You'll see them videotape it. They won't say, hey, you pulling up in a car to come to a house to fight somebody or do something. No, you won't see no man come out there and say, hey, you got to go. Get back in your car, turn around, because you're not about to swing on nobody. You don't live over here. Don't bring that stuff on my block and in my neighborhood. No, they're going to stand there and watch it and film it. They're not going to stop it. Whether it's a cat fight or they start pulling out weapons, they're not going to interfere anyway. A girl could be getting stabbed to death, beaten the head with a bat. They'll stand there and watch the whole thing. They won't try to stop it. They won't bring no authority to the situation. You got to call the police and say, hey, Mr. Officer, can you please come and break this up? Because we apparently don't have no men that will do that. And if a white officer shows up to put a stop to the problem, we got a problem with that. You being too rough. Get your hands off him. Get your hands off her. You being too rough with them. You being too rough. What are you doing? That's what we have to say. Oh, it's okay. She just was beating her in the head with a bat. Oh, it's okay. She just pulled at these people's house, disrespected the family. Don't care if his parents is there or not. They gonna drag somebody or say, oh, I'm gonna come to your house because I'm big and bad. They don't care. But don't hit Shaniqua now. Don't put your hands. Don't grab Shaniqua like that. I dare you grab her like that. Don't be rough with him like that. He just robbed 4 people. He just out here shooting guns at cars. But don't you do that to him. You a racist. Don't put your hands on him. And then, because I'm black, because I got color in my skin, I'm related. No, I'm not related to you. I'm not. We have nothing in common. I'm not in common with criminals, rapists, murderers, thieves. I don't have nothing in common with them. You're not my brother. You're not my sister. We're not related. My brothers and sisters are people of Christ that serve God. If you ain't God, family, country, you ain't my people. I don't know you. I pray for you because that's what God want me to, but you ain't my peoples. We ain't all the same because we have the same color skin. We not the same. Not at all. Period. People wonder why white folks don't want to live next to black people. Who does? Who does? If you have any predominantly black, all black neighborhoods, they're not going to be the best of the neighborhoods. They just not. Shout out to Brandon Tatum because a couple days ago, he made the most fierce video of all times. Every word he spoke was truth. Who wants to live next to people in the all-black community? For what? It ain't going to be the safest community. It's going to always be drama and mess. Who wants that? Don't nobody want that. The majority of all black communities are not safe, don't have the best schools, aren't the cleanest neighborhoods. Let's keep it real. They're not. May have a few of them, they have a few exceptions to it, but for the most part, they're not. And the ones that trying to hold on to their neighborhood have to deal with so much stuff. It's ridiculous. As the older people leave out, the newer generation come in, it's nothing but drama, destruction, and crime. Who wants to live next to that? Ask LeBron James why he don't. He live next to the white folks in gated communities where they gonna patrol security. But he wants you to be without security because the cops is racist. But his security ain't racist. He got unracist security. But your police is racist. But the ones that police his neighborhood, they not. He don't want to get rid of them. Just the ones that keep the elderly that's at home by themselves, who gets taken advantage of, who can get home invasions done to them and get tied up in their own home for days and people don't even know what's going on. That we used to have neighborhood policing when you know your officer would stop by. Oh, this is Miss Jones' house. I ain't seen Miss Jones in the day. She usually out here watering her flowers or doing this and that. Go check or knock on the door. Hey, Miss Jones, you all right? Miss Jones could have been there dead, had a heart attack, a stroke, or anything. Ain't nobody checked on Miss Jones. We used to have that. When I was a kid, I used to wave at the police and the fire department. I wasn't afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of them now. When I talk to the police and have any interaction with the police, I have no issues with them. None. I was riding with my daughter in the car and her front light had went out and the cop pulled us over. I wasn't afraid when he pulled us over. And he said he pulled you over because your light was out. She's like, oh, I didn't know. Thank you for telling me. Because if your light's out in your car, you don't know, that can cause a traffic accident. So he shouldn't have pulled us over to let us know. Oh, yeah, she couldn't find her registration because her car always junky. I'm looking in the glove department. She got a bunch of stuff in there. He's patiently waiting for me to look through all the papers to get the registration. Was I afraid? No. Was my daughter afraid? No. We did what we said. We didn't say, oh, you pulled us over. Why? Why you pulled me over? I gotta show my registration and identification. Why? That's his job. Here you go, sir. Here you go. But you ain't got no problem putting on no mask, which is dumb. It's all outdoors, suffocating your own self with putting germs on your face. You ain't got no problem with doing that. Soon as the federal government, the black man's master, told him to put on his mask, he don't leave home without it. It's mighty funny you do that. Stay 6 feet apart, stay on your X like they tell you to. You don't have a problem with your federal master. I guess it's just your local government. But your federal masters, stores tell you what to do. You all for it. What? I notice black folks, their master is the government. The federal government's their master. They bow and comply. They don't buck against them. Not one day. They won't do it. No sirree, bye. They won't stand up against that. No. They rights getting taken daily by the minute. They won't buck that. Yes, sir, master. You said put my mask on? Yes, sir. I will do so, sir. Ready to fight another black person because they don't got one no. Master, I got a master. They ain't got master. She don't got a master on, master. I got a sir. I got a master. Put your mask on. Where your mask at? They don't have a problem doing that. But if an officer say, hey, sir, ma'am, can I see you? You racist. But the Biden administration and Kamala Fake Harris, they not racist. They just your masters. They just your long-term decade masters. To tell you, boy, ma'am, you better vote for me or you ain't black. That living next to you is, my kids going to school with you is like living going to the jungle. Oh, he didn't say, oh, that was back in the day when he said that. The Democratic Party, y'all will follow them to the end of time. Whatever your Democratic master tell you, yes, sir, you will. Yes, we'll vote for you, undoubtedly. You do whatever they tell you to do like a fool, blindly. But anything that actually takes real action, real standing up, the black cowards won't do it. They won't do it. Not one time will they get out there on the line. They won't do it. They won't sign up to be in your military. They won't sign up to be your police, your sheriffs, your border control. They won't sign up for it, but they'll talk mess about those who got the heart to do so. Those, when you get carjacked, who you call, they can cut a gun in my head, or home invasions, who you call, 911, can you help me? You won't sign up to be the one to come through that door. You won't be the first line of defense between a bullet and another person like officers do. That will come towards the fire. They don't run from the fire. They run towards the fire. They run towards the knives. They run towards the back. They run towards the fluids and liquids being thrown on them and spits and bites. They run towards it all to protect you. They run towards the gunfire and the bullets and the bombs. They don't run from them. They run toward them. While the cowards run from them and then complain about the ones who running towards them. See, they don't do that. They run towards the guns. They run towards the bullets. But all these Negroes out here, I'm tired of black people dying. You ain't tired of black people dying. You don't give a dang on about black people dying. What do you do about your community every day when there's crack houses in your neighborhood? When you see the young boys on the streets who you know are in gangs or the ones out here carjacking people? When do you stand up when it's a shooting every day on every corner in the cities and most urban areas that nobody's out there marching, standing up, shutting it down? Nobody's doing it. Nobody. Black folks don't do that. You come out and Black Lives Matter. Black lives don't matter in your neighborhood. Black lives don't matter when a 7-year-old gets shot 6 times. Nobody matters. Nobody matters every day when kids are getting murdered or beaten or abused in their own households. And then, oh, this baby got beat to death. And I don't see no marches outside those houses. I don't see no marches outside where this baby got. I don't see y'all rising up. Speak her name. Why you ain't speak her name? I don't see you doing none of that. None of it at all. But you care about black lives. The black culture is so weak. And like I said, I'm so disgusted with the black culture, period. It's a shame to watch history where I seen videos and families going to church together, being respectful, raising their kids to be respectful, respect themselves. We don't have that no more. You care about black lives, but you got all the whores on the camera promoting on Instagram and the music that the kids listen to and all the disgust that we promote and say, yeah, they're a celebrity. You don't care about the disgust and the poison that's going into a young black mind. And the black handlers like Stacey Abrams and the low-life Maxine Waters And all of these people who sit here and push this fake propaganda so they can stay rich and in connection and in power. But where did their kids go to school at? Ask Maxine what school her kids went to. I bet you it wasn't in California, in the neighborhood, in Compton. What's her district in California, Maxine Waters? I bet they didn't go to those schools. But yet they push this nonsense on the black community, and we fall for, oh, voter ID is racist. You got to have an ID. I just went and bought some sinus and allergy medicine that they have put behind the counter because apparently the fentanyl, of course, they using it, what George Floyd was on, is inside the sinus and allergy medicine that's with the combined formula, and now you have to have ID because they using the pills to make drugs. So I had to show my ID to buy allergy medicine. That used to be 6 months ago over the counter. That if you go buy liquor, you got to show your ID. To get basically anywhere, you got to show identification. But that's so racist. Because black folks ignorant, they can't get one. And I know that God has mercy on the black culture because he knows we are pathetic. The black culture is sad. They on a lifeline. They are on a serious lifeline, and it's sad. And Mr. Wright, the guy who the officer accidentally shot with the taser, which is a sad situation, but these people have been headed to death. They've been on a slow drip to death for a long time. He may have physically expired that day, but that boy had been dying for a long time. George Floyd had been dying for a long time. Our people are on the slow drip of death. They've been slowly dying day by day. And nobody stepped in to save them. Nobody stepped in to stop the slow drip of death. It's like a slow poison of death. That boy was on his way, one way or the other. But did the parents step in? No. Did the parents step in because he was wanted for a warrant? He out here driving? Ain't report to court. Did the parents say, hey, you ain't report to court? What you doing? No. Let me tell you something. My kids are all grown. And I have 2 grandchildren. Like I said, my daughter got pulled over. They gave her 14 days to fix her headlight. You just take the ticket to the precinct, then they say acknowledge you fixed the ticket or whatever, and you don't have a real, it's not a actual paid ticket. Every day, I ask my daughter, did you go get your headlight fixed? You going today? Tomorrow? When you going? It's been a week. You ain't week yet? Every day. I reminded my daughter because I'm still the head. As a parent, you never stop being the head. I'm still the head over my children. To this day, I'm still the head. If I know my kids not doing something right, I'm going to tell them, you need to take care of that. Do you think I care that they don't like it? You think I care that I was getting on my daughter's nerves about that headlight? Do you think I care? I don't care. Get it fixed. You don't want to hear my mouth? Get it fixed. I'm going to get to it, Mom. Dang, I know what I don't care. Get it fixed. What did she do? She went and got it fixed. Did you get that fixed? Yes. Did you take it up? Yes. I took it up there. Good. Do you think my son, who drives a sports car, gets tickets? You don't think I tell him, oh, you got a ticket, you pay your ticket? Did you pay your ticket, son? Did you pay your ticket? I gotta pay. Okay, you gotta get your license and be done. Yeah, I had lost my license. Did you get them done yet? No. When you gonna do it? I gotta get your lazy butt up and go take care of your business. You can go hang out with your girlfriend. You can go at the restaurants and eat. You can go do whatever else you want to do. Take care of your business, son, because your business is important. Make sure your tags is right. Make sure your license is right. Take care of your business. You got a ticket, pay your ticket. Take care of your business. You teach your kids to take care of their business. Take care of your business. If I know you got a ticket or I know you ain't done something you need to do, when you see me, you're going to get a reminder. Did you get it done? Did you take care of that? I'm going to have something to say because it's my job to have something to say. Because it's best for me to tell my son to take care of your business. It's what's best. When your kids are out of order, you know what your stock is. You know what you got in your stock. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then you tell them, hey, look at here. I love your son, I love your daughter, but look, you're lazy. Do better. Do A, B, C, D. Period. You know if you got a lazy kid, a loafer, you know, that's my loafer. You know you got one that makes snap decisions, don't think it all the way through. Slow your roll. What you doing? Let's talk about it. Maybe you should think about A, B, C, and D. Before you do that and take care of your business. You don't manage money well. Let me tell you something. You better start paying your stuff and being responsible. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, then what's your deal? You know what your stock is before anybody else do. But we got lazy parents. We don't got parents that say, hey, your tire messed up, son. You ain't got the tire fixed. I just saw you on the Snapchats or the Instagrams at the party, son. But you ain't got your tire fixed, son. What's wrong? You ain't got your tags, but you went and spent money doing this, son. Take care of your business. You know if your son walking around with liquor in the car and on the Instagram smoking the liquors and stuff. Let me tell you something, son. I'm disappointed in your behavior. I'm going to need you to put that down. I'm going to need you to stop drinking your liver into cirrhosis. Son, you on there with a gun and a liquor bottle and a joint in your hand. Something's going wrong. Have a seat. Let's talk about it. Don't let me see you again with this on your stuff. Clean up your act, son. Don't ride around with open liquor bottles in your car, son. These are things you do. These are things you tell your kids. Because all our children have the opportunity to make the wrong decision. They can change. One decision can change your whole child's life in an instant. Who don't know that? One decision. So you help guide your kids to I think you need to do ABC. You grown. If you grown, you would have took care. Because grown people take care of business. They don't just say, I know I'm grown. No, grown people know they grown, do what they supposed to do. We don't just let it slide. Oh, you got low air. You ain't sitting in the air and that tire go out while you on the freeway. You went to the side of the road. We're going right now. Stop and go get some air. You talking the conversation? Go up to the gas station, get some air. You need a new tire? You better be on the first thing in the morning. Go patch it up right now, though, because you don't need to be out here driving with that. That's what parents do. That's what they do. You teach your kids to be responsible because it's what's best for them. Because they don't need to be being pulled over for unnecessarily. For what? What reason? You don't need to. If your stuff is right, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it running into a cop that could be having a bad day because you got your stuff together. And if you do get pulled over, yeah, I probably was speeding, but whatever. Who likes getting tickets? Nobody, but you just do comply, yes. Okay, well, thank you, officer. Go dispute your ticket if you don't want to pay it. But that's not the time or the area to start disputing your ticket. I don't tell them, oh, they racist. They're just going to pull you over because you're black. And I don't fill my kids with anger and stupidity for them to remember what I say and then act it out on the scene. That's stupid. I didn't program my kids to think this way. So when my son get pulled over, he don't care because he got his stuff together. I have car insurance. I have tags. I have license. I was speeding. Here you go. All you could do is write me a ticket. I don't got a warrant. Paid my tickets. I'm not wanted. I don't have a warrant for my arrest. So all you got to do is give me my ticket. I can go. They're not worried. They're not angry. I teach my kids, you need to work for what you want. You don't need to steal or scam because it's easy to do these things. You need to work for what you want. If you can't get it right, then work to get what you want to get. And if you fall short, that's your falling short. You don't get mad and blame it on everybody else and then feel entitled to go take what you want. I'm teaching my kids, you want to be a lender and not a borrower. But no, that's not what we do. We sit back on social media and make all these dumb, ignorant comments. And it's funny to me because older people, 40 and up, they don't argue with the police. When the police put their coward behinds over, they comply. But they back ignorant ways and ignorant beliefs of our young people. But they coward behinds, they don't do none of that. They don't argue. They don't do any of that with the police. But they back the ignorant behavior of our young people to their destruction. When they coward behind, show their stuff. Here you go. They ain't taking off and speeding off and fighting the police and getting irate and all. They ain't doing that. Them cowards ain't doing that. But they support that ignorant behavior of our young people. Oh, he did it, so what? While you sit at home comfortably, while this child is dead on the ground because you said, so what, don't touch him. While you somewhere safe. Go on, girl, yeah, do it. Do us right. You got the right, yeah, say that, do that. You know how them people fighting, they sitting in the background shouting, but they ain't throwing a blow, ain't even gonna help you in the fight, them type of people. Those types. That's why People need to know when you in a situation, you better know how to get out of it on your own, because these cowards ain't about to help you. You on your own. They gonna shout your name after you dead and gone. But they not there in the fight with you. They ain't there taking the bullet for you. They not there taking the stab wound for you. They not taking the roughing that, or the time you sitting in the jail cell, they not gonna be there with you. They gonna be at home running their mouth. Yeah. So what? Them cops racist. Get on social media with this fake. I'm so tired of our black males being murdered. With they fake love. They fake, oh, I'm so sad. You could care less. Because you ain't going to do nothing for nobody. You ain't going to even donate an organ if they needed one. But you so love them so much. You ain't even on the organ donor list. You know black people ain't on the organ donor list. You ain't going to give a breath, a toenail for another person. But you so sad for their life. And it's so funny to me because like this girl who got murdered was a sad situation. Not the little girl that got murdered that was 7 years old, which is such a sad situation. Not one response. Not no, I don't see nothing about her up and down Facebook or nothing. No remorse, no nothing. 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 When that's happening, kids every day in urban cities are taking bullets that they idiot parents have put them in harm's way of getting, most of them. Because you want to be in the gang, your daughter dead. And then the unfortunate situation with this young girl in a foster home. How many black folks volunteer in foster homes? How many black folks go mentor a child and take a child that's in a home out for dinner or mentor them in any type of way? How many of these black folks do that for our young people? How many? Because I would like to know. How many go help kids or young boys who's part of the system and part of the state? How many go help? You know, when I was in the foster care and girl homes growing up, you know who came and took me out? White woman. She was my mentor. She took me to Canada the first time I ever went. She took me to Canada, her and her friend. Took me to a Christian rock concert. It was a white woman. Wasn't no too many black mentors that came and took the girls out or picked a girl from one out of us. About 20 girls. We ain't had no black mentors really. None of them came and took us out. And I believe the reason why they did it was because they were Christian white women. So they wanted to contribute and help. And shout out to King Randall, because that young man who's 21 years old has done more than people could have lived 3 lifetimes is doing. Mentoring young men and trying to actually, like he said, do something. Be about it. Not a sideline Christian, but actually a Christian that's about it. That type. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. When I was growing up, I grew up around a lot of violence and things like that, drugs, all that type of stuff. But all the girls and people I met through all my years in different foster homes I was in, the few years that I was in the foster care system, none of them was there because of a white man or a white woman. None of them was there before that. I wasn't, they wasn't. None of them was there for that because a white man or white woman put them there or was responsible for them being there. It was their parents who was black. Had nothing to do with no white man, white woman, nothing. Everything I ever went through in my life growing up never had nothing to do with no white man or white woman. It was my own household. And any decisions after that were made by me, and I had to take accountability for. It wasn't nobody else. It wasn't no white person. I grew up in predominantly black neighborhoods in the city of Detroit. I was always surrounded by nothing but black people. So what did the white man do to me? Nothing. He wasn't responsible for any dysfunction that I ever went through growing up. He had nothing to do with it. It was my parents' responsibility. My step-parent, my parent, it was their responsibility. It wasn't the white man. Any of the girls who had been abused, raped, mistreated, prostituted, girls in there for selling drugs, abandoned, it was their own family, their own household. It wasn't no white man or white woman. Wasn't no white people at all. Why I had to go through and my younger siblings went through what they was in the foster care system is because the choices that my mother and my stepfather had made, and my father who died when I was 5. It had nothing to do with no other culture. It had to do with the decisions that they made. It had nothing to do with nobody else. The abuse that's going on to our young people is done by the hands of the people that know them. They look like them, are the same color as them. It's not nothing. White folks not coming in your household beating and neglecting your kids. Letting your kids run the streets with guns at night. They not doing that. That's you who's doing that. That's you who allow your child to drop out of high school and still stay in your house with you. They get up and eat your food in your refrigerator and lay in the bed and watch your TV. They have fresh new sneaks and clothes on, even though they dropped out of high school. That's you who allow that. That's you to allow your 30-year-old son to sleep on your sofa in your basement with no job. That's you who allow that. That's you keep allowing your son to have a revolving door in and out of jail and short-term prison sentences to come back and forth to your home. That's you who allow that. Not the white man, but you. That's you who allow your girls to go out and hang out unsupervised and get pregnant at a young age. And now they got a baby. And it's the baby in them sitting at home with you. That's you who allowed that. That you gave your daughter too much freedom and then she ended up pregnant. And now she ain't in school. That's you who did that, not the white man, unless he the one knocked her up. You the one gave her the access. You the one who let your boyfriends come in around your daughter. Or you too busy chasing a man while your kids is unsupervised or hanging with Joe and Sarah Sue them or Uncle Ben who molesting them. That's you. That's not the white man. That's you who smoking the pipe or taking the fentanyl. And you a drug addict. That ain't got nothing to do with the white man. You probably bought your dope from a black man. That's you who put drugs before your children. That's you who put alcohol before your children. That's you who put chasing a man before your children. That's you who put your wants and your desires before raising your kids. That has nothing to do with the white man. It has something to do with you. But no, when our kids are out here left, messed up emotionally and mentally, and then out here and end up dead or locked up, you want to blame the white man. So, poor baby. But where was you at all along when they was on this slow drip to death and destruction? Where were you all along, Black culture? Where were you? That we going to have 10 more Dante Wrights. That we going to have 10 more Ma'Khia Bryants. That we going to have 10 more Jasmines. I'm sorry, I forget the little girl's last name. We're going to have much more of those. Continue one after another. Why? Because all the Black culture do is sit back and run their mouths and don't do a dang on thing about nothing. But say, oh, that's a shame. That's just that baby. That's us. We ain't about to put our foot in our hands in nothing. We ain't about to do nothing. No, we ain't gonna do nothing. We're gonna sit by and be spectators around our own life. Most Black folks is a spectator of life. They ain't even living it. We're not gonna get in the battle. We sideline Christians. We ain't gonna get out there on the field though. We ain't gonna put that armor on for real and get out there on that battlefield. We not about to do it. We not gonna get in the battlefield. We not. No. We're not. That's why God raised up warriors. He picked them precisely. You. Because he know, I ain't got time for sideline Christians. I'm going to raise my warriors up. That's one. In the womb, you was one. When I placed the spirit of you in your mama's womb, you was a warrior. He placed them strategically where he put them. Because they was going to get out there on that battlefield. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Don't nobody love nobody more than God do. You don't love these kids more than God do. Yet they still end up this way. Why is that? Because God said that man has choice. And curses have to be broken on families. Curses have to be broken. I spent my time violence, prison. That was the curses on my family, my uncles, on both sides. His daddy side and my side, my mama's family. That was the curses of the family on the men. Broke it. I said, I got 2 boys. I got to break this cycle for my boys. I got to do something different. I can't do the same. Because, see, you learn. You're supposed to take what you've been through and what you know and learn and make a change in it. That's what we're supposed to do. I didn't spend my time worried about what the white man didn't do and don't do. I said what I had the power to do is what I did. And it's sad. It really is. It's a sad day. Our people are on life support as a culture, and it's sad. We ain't going nowhere. We going backwards, and it ain't got nothing to do with no white person. It got to go with our cowardness, Our men being cowards, being betas, being soy boys, not men standing up. Our women being thoughts and whores and Jezebels. Taking no accountability. Then you want to go to somebody else's neighborhood, bring that same mess with you. Bye. I'd be like that if I was a white person. Don't bring that over here. Stay in your hood. Don't come with me. Who wants you to bring their ignorance to their neighborhood? I wouldn't either. If I move away, I don't want you bringing your ignorance next door to me. Sure don't. And I'm a person of color. Don't care. Don't want you to bring it. And don't blame them for it. They got the right to say it. Because unlike you believe, they don't owe you a damn thing. Don't owe you nothing. So that is my video today, people. What is this? Wake the Hell Up Part 4? We have to continue to pray. And I know myself, I need to pray for the strength, because I'll be like, Lord, I'm tired of these black folks. I'm tired of them. They disgust me. They get on my nerves. They ignorant. They don't listen. They act like animals. They act like cowards. The only people they willing to fight is themselves. They stupid. And they bow down to the liberal master and the liberal Democratic Party that's part of their destruction. The same party that created the Ku Klux Klan. The same party who created the Jim Crow laws is the same party they support wholeheartedly, like fools. It's like they'll never get it. It's just like you be like, Lord, they're lost. They will never get it. They can't never teach their kids to excel above anything because they lost. But I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to continue to always be obedient and do what God wants me to do. But I just really pray that this culture wakes up. I really do. Stop patting our children to hell. Stop going along with the slow drip death of our young people. That's it, people. Have a good night. See you with the next video.